Welcome into the Cowboys Report. Today's show, all about the Dak Prescott injury, presented by Magic Spoon Cereal. $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/Cowboys. Tell you more about them in a little bit, but the news that you guys are here for, it's why you clicked on that notification if you're subscribed. It's good news on Dak Prescott. He did suffer a apparently rather mild right calf strain on the game-winning touchdown pass against the Patriots to CeeDee Lamb. Dak, after the game and all the interviews, he was like, I'm fine, don't worry about it. Now the MRI has reportedly come back as well, per Ian Rappaport. He's fine. That's the expectation, the situation right now for Dak Prescott. Yes, there is a mild strain. He'll be in the walking boot for a little bit, but it shouldn't impact him for any games this season. This was the boot that Dak was pictured in after the game. By the way, as part of this press conference that Dak was at, he also did interviews with, I think, Peter King and CBS Sports after the game. He was all smiles. Dak was very clearly pretty pleased with the outcome of that game, the overtime win against the Patriots, and didn't appear to be concerned at all about the injury. It also helps, of course, that it's pretty good timing for a bye. Here's what Dak said after the game. Quote, I figure we're not playing for a week, so I'd give you guys, okay, the media, something to talk about and speculate on. So there you go. He continued with a less jokey answer. It was a little pain. Didn't like what I felt. I could have kept playing if I had to. I'll be fine. Something we'll figure out. Last throw came down funny. I'll be fine. I promise you on that. And I think that's the situation here for Dak Prescott, that he's not overly concerned as we sit right now, and I'm not very concerned either. I think this is a very minor issue for Prescott, who's dealt with the shoulder this year as well. Everything seems just fine, though. Good timing, of course, for the bye week, but I'm not very concerned. I'll give my answer here in a second, but I want to hear from you guys. What is your concern level right now over Dak Prescott? You got to give it at least a 1. I know you don't want to go with, I know you want to put in 0, but it's at least a 1 because there is a strain here. It's not nothing. There is something, even though he's fine. 10 being you're in full-fledged meltdown mode. Season's over. I'm state media saying everything's fine when it's not. It's not a 10. So get your votes in. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and get your votes in on a scale of 1 to 10. Mine right now is actually a 2, which I suspect is going to be higher than at least some of you guys in the comments section. We'll see how the week goes. I do think that the timing is actually fairly beneficial. I know Dak Prescott. You know Dak Prescott. He's not going to miss time. He does not want to miss any rep, any game that he doesn't have to. The bye week will help. They're not going to practice much per the CBA, if at all. So I think it'll be a very nice week of rehab and recovery for Prescott coming off a big-time win over the Patriots. I'm also have a rather low concern because Dak has a low concern. If Dak was actually hurt, he wouldn't have been doing a ton of interviews or after the game. He did one with CBS on the field, did a bunch of media stuff afterward. Peter King did the overall Cowboys media as well. Dak did not seem worried. He did not seem concerned. He was all smiles, having a good time, excited about the win. Now, does this morning wake up a little bit tighter? Sure, I suppose that's possible. But he wasn't worried after the game. That means the medical staff wasn't worried after the game. Dak is a profoundly tough, both physically and mentally, individual. Long story short here, folks, Dak Prescott should be just fine. Don't worry about him right now. Everything seems good on this front, just like it was with the shoulder, which I thought might maybe make him limited early in the season. Was not the case. He was just fine at that perspective. Dak's fine. So nothing to be concerned about here as it relates to the calf issue. He'll be good to go, and that is a big deal for the Dallas Cowboys. The bye timed very, very well. Hopefully things look good for the Cowboys coming out of that bye with more guys coming back from injury in the near future as well. Today's show, as I mentioned, is made possible by our good friends over at Magic Spoon Cereal. You can get $5 off your first order when you go to magicspoon.com/Cowboys. This cereal, high in protein, 13, sometimes 14, if you like the peanut butter, for example, grams of protein in every bowl. Low in carbs, 4 grams of net carbs. And despite having 0 sugar, this stuff tastes absolutely incredible. magicspoon.com/Cowboys. Cowboys. Again, $5 off your first order. That link, by the way, will be in the comments section and it'll be in the description. So check them out today at magicspoon.com/Cowboys. I will make this note, by the way. The bye week comes at a very good time for America's team. I still think had the Cowboys had to play a game on Sunday, Dak Prescott would be out there. We know how tough he is, as I mentioned. But the bye it's nice timing. Gives him extra time to recover, extra time to rehab. You're getting other guys back from IR like Michael Gallup, who the team has been out with for a couple weeks, and La'el Collins comes back. So it is an earlier in the season bye, which will cause issues in December and January potentially. But as it relates to Dak, it's actually pretty good timing. Get that calf fully up to 100%, maybe not like 90% or whatever it might have been on Sunday. And I do think overall this year, guys, Dak's been awesome. It's actually funny because in years past, myself and others who have been espousing the praise of Dak Prescott have said, hey, this is a player who the advanced metrics look great. He's been balling in that area. Look at his EPA, his QBR, all the advanced metrics. This year, it hasn't actually been the advanced metrics that have been as good for Dak Prescott. Frankly, those are a little bit more below average than what you might end up expecting. His stats against the Patriots, again, over 70% completion rate, 445 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT. A big part of why his advanced numbers don't look that great is what you saw in this game. 2 quarterback sneaks, which the third and goal one, he scored. Refs are blind. That actually, and that fumble too, leads to some pretty significant negative EPA and QBR results. So, ironically, the advanced metrics, not as great for Dak Prescott. The film and the eye test are much more in his favor. Overall this year, folks, Dak Prescott is completing 73% of his passes. He's almost up to 2,000 yards. He's got a blistering 16-4 touchdown to interception ratio. A great stat here from NFL Network. Dak is the 7th quarterback in the Super Bowl era to have 16-plus touchdown passes, a 70 or greater percent completion rate, fewer than 5 interceptions in his team's first 6 games of the season. So, again, above 70, 16 or more touchdowns, fewer than 5 INTs. 4 of the 5 previous players won the NFL MVP that season. It's Manning, Rodgers, Brady, and the greatest show on turf quarterback Kurt Warner. That's where they're at. That's how good Dak Prescott has been. And here's maybe the best part. This Cowboys team, Dak included, still making mistakes out there. Too many red zone turnovers. Too many mistakes overall. Maybe getting a bit greedy at points, etc. And the end result has still been the Cowboys and Dak Prescott have at minimum a top 3 offense in the NFL. That's a big deal for the Cowboys. So grade Dak Prescott for me this season. A, B, C, D, or F. Get those votes in for me right now in the comments section. And while you're down there in the comments, make sure you're subscribed. We are almost to 109,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. My goal is to double up the Washington football team's actual one by the time they play, which is a very real possibility here at the Cowboys Report. We've got daily videos every single day, including the Boys and Girls Show with Jane Slater, Bobby Belt. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Now, I want to spend a little bit of time, just a little bit, even though I'm not concerned here, on some potential, just in case, break the glass emergency options. If Dak were to miss time, which I don't think happens. Cooper Rush has been the backup. Will Grier is also on the roster. It just so happens, though, that a fairly notable name in the free agency market is still out there. It's Cam Newton. He remains a free agent and said he was recently vaccinated, which is a big deal because previously you had to wait 5 days to bring him in and sign him, which is basically a deal breaker with the timing of so much stuff as it relates to a quarterback and a team. He is top free agent QB by a wide margin. Now, make no mistake, Cam is not what he was in his prime. He's no longer that elite franchise QB, and I don't even know how good of a fit he is in the Cowboys offense, but I do know this. Probably better than Cooper Rush. He's probably better than Will Grier. So what do you guys think? Be honest with me. Maybe you feel fine with Dak and you say, nah, not right now. That's good too. But I want you to be honest with this question. Would you guys sign Cam Newton? Type in Y for yes you would, or type in N for no, you would not. Again, the Cowboys have 2 players right now on their active roster, and I wonder if down there they might have to cut one because they got other guys coming back from injury. Cooper Rush has not played this year, has not been needed. I think is a better, in terms of knowing the offense, that knowledge base is pretty good. I don't think Will Grier is there at this point. I don't think he's really fully up to speed with where he needs to be in the offense. That's why he's been inactive for every game so far this season. The good news is, doesn't sound like the Cowboys needed them. Dak Prescott did suffer that right calf strain on the game-winning touchdown pass, walk-off style, in overtime against the New England Patriots, of course, Cam Newton's former team. But Dak, in the end, did suffer that calf injury. So it's not a huge deal in the end, but that is fairly significant as it relates to the Cowboys. He should be fine. Worth mentioning, not worth panicking over. That MRI has reportedly come back fine per Ian Rappaport. He is going to be in that protective boot. They'll play it safe just to make sure there's not undue pressure being added to the calf issue. By the way, quick note, because I'm sure there are questions on it. No correlation between that ankle injury Dak suffered last year and the calf strain in this game. I think that's been pretty clear by the actual on-field play that there's nothing wrong with Dak Prescott's ankle. It did not need to be amputated or whatever was being said out there, and he certainly did not get cut in June either. So good news on the injury front for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott will be just fine.